We're always told that success is a pretty simple story, right? It's all about talent and good old-fashioned hard work. But what if that's not really the whole picture? Today, we're going to dig into Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers to uncover the hidden factors, the secret ingredients that really create extraordinary achievement.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. We all love that story, don't we? The story of the lone genius, the self-made hero who just conquers the world with nothing but their own brilliance and grit. But what if that story, as awesome as it sounds, is actually missing the most important parts of what really happened?
This is the formula we all learn. It's kind of the foundation of this whole idea of meritocracy. If you're talented enough and you work hard enough, you're going to succeed, period. But Gladwell comes along and says, hold on, this equation is fundamentally incomplete. It's time we added a few more variables to it.
So our first stop on this journey of deconstruction is the whole idea of raw intelligence. We just assume that to be a true outlier, like a Nobel Prize winner, you have to be this once-in-a-generation, off-the-charts genius. But, well, the data tells a very, very different story.
Think about it. What does it take to win a Nobel Prize? You'd think the higher your IQ, the better your chances, right? Well, yeah, but only up to a point. The odds of winning definitely go up as your IQ goes from average to around 120. But after that, the curve just flattens out. The advantage of having an IQ of 150 over 120 is surprisingly small. It's a classic case of diminishing returns.
And this brings us to what Gladwell calls the threshold theory. Here's a great way to think about it. It's like height in basketball. I mean, being 5'6" is a massive disadvantage. But once you're tall enough, let's say you're 6'4", being 6'8" doesn't automatically make you a better player. Suddenly, other skills take over. It's exactly the same with intelligence. You have to be smart enough to get in the game, but once you're there, it's your creativity, your social skills, your practical smarts that really set you apart.
Okay, so if being a super genius isn't the magic bullet, then what about hard work? Well, this brings us to probably the most famous and definitely the most misunderstood idea from Outliers, that magic number for achieving mastery. 10,000. This number has become legendary, hasn't it? It's the supposed secret key to becoming an expert in, well, anything. Now, the rule itself seems pretty straightforward. To become a true master at something, a concert pianist, a chess grandmaster, a star programmer, you need to put in about 10,000 hours of really focused practice. And look, there's a lot of truth to this. Hard work is absolutely non-negotiable. But Gladwell's real point isn't about the number itself. It's about a much, much deeper question.
And this is the pivot. This is the crucial question that changes everything. It's not just about having the will to practice. It's about getting the opportunity to practice. I mean, think about it. 10,000 hours is basically a full-time job for 5 years, or 20 hours a week for 10 years. Who on earth actually gets a chance like that?
So, this brings us to what might be the real engine behind outlier success: opportunity. It's that invisible advantage, the lucky break, the specific set of circumstances that makes all that practice even possible in the first place. I mean, look at the Beatles. They became the Beatles because a club in Hamburg, Germany hired them to play 8 hours a night, 7 days a week. They got their 10,000 hours in before anyone even knew their names. Or take Bill Gates. As a teenager in 1968, he got almost unlimited access to a university computer terminal. That was an unbelievably rare opportunity back then, and it let him program for thousands and thousands of hours when almost no one else his age could. Yes, their passion and their hard work were absolutely essential, but that fire was ignited by opportunities that were almost entirely out of their control. Without that gig in Hamburg, without that computer terminal, the story would have been completely different. But wait, it doesn't even stop there. There's another layer to this, another huge external factor that's just as powerful as opportunity. It's when you are born. Just look at this timeline. It is absolutely not a coincidence that tech titans like Bill Gates, Paul Allen, and Steve Jobs were all born between 1953 and 1956. Think about it. This meant they were the absolute perfect age, young enough to embrace this new computer thing, but old enough to take full advantage of it right when the personal computer revolution exploded in the mid-1970s. If they'd been born just 5 years earlier or 5 years later, they would have been totally out of sync with that critical moment in history. This is what Gladwell calls demographic luck. And that's a really profound idea when you stop and think about it. Your birth year can act like a massive advantage or a disadvantage, all depending on the shifting currents of history.
It's another powerful reminder that the story of success is so much bigger than just one person. Okay, so let's put all these pieces together, shall we? We started with a simple, kind of inspiring myth, and now we can build a much richer and, frankly, more accurate model for what it really takes to achieve something extraordinary. So on one side, you have that old myth we started with. It's simple, it feels good, but it's just incomplete. And on the other side, you've got the outlier formula. It doesn't throw out talent and hard work. Those are still crucial, but it adds the two critical game-changing ingredients: opportunity, the thing that makes those 10,000 hours of practice even possible, and timing, which puts you in the right place at the perfect moment in history. So, what does this new picture of success really tell us? Well, for one, it tells us that success isn't something you're just born with. It's something that's grown under the right conditions. It shows us that our environment, our culture, our generation isn't just a backdrop to our story. It's a key character. Outliers aren't lone wolves. They're products of their history and their community. And maybe most importantly, their most critical advantage is often the one we see the least: the simple luck of opportunity. In the end, the story of an outlier isn't really the story of a single person at all. It's the story of a culture, a generation, and a whole series of fortunate events that allow talent to blossom. It's about this complex web of advantages, some earned, some just plain lucky, that all come together to create something truly extraordinary. And that really just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Instead of just asking, how can I be successful? Maybe a better, more interesting question is to look back and ask, what lucky breaks, what unique opportunities, and what historical timing have already shaped the person I am today? The answers? Well, they might just surprise you. Thanks for watching.